Hey traders around the world, what's going on? It's me, Jeremy Newsome with RealLifeTrading.com. We're doing absolutely fantastic. We got the SPY here on the screen, which is the ETF that tracks the S&P 500, and just a really strange, unique, and odd day. There was an FOMC meeting today, and as usual, there's some chatter, and during that chatter, the market gets a little volatile, it gets a little spiky, and it's just the strangest thing. The SPY traded down to the 10 EMA and bounced with this giant lower shadow. I mean, there's no way anyone could have seen anything like that happening. Honestly, not much to see on the SPY. It's bullish, it's a retest gap. If it pulls back by the dip, something like that. If it continues higher, stay bullish. Hope you picked up on the sarcasm. We were talking about this exact same thing on Monday. So yeah, retest gap and pulled right into the 10 and bounce. I mean, strange. Really just shockingly easy stuff. Here's the Qs, and the Qs today also a little bit of a lower shadow. I mentioned on Monday they were slightly bearish, and this a little bit of bearishness coming in, but again, I don't think it's going to go to zero or anything. Just a nice buying the dip opportunity. The trend still looks pretty good. IWM is just cranking it. About to make some new all-time highs here shortly. So that's doing its thing. And then the Dow ETF, good grief, another all-time high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 white candles in a row. Target is at 225.62. So the Dow rocking out. Have a lot of requests today. Well, not a lot, just some. Here's Apple, ticker symbol AAPL, and Apple, talk of the town, as this thing had a nice gap down this morning. Check out this gap. So you had a very nice pennant pattern. You had an inside day candle yesterday, and we actually gapped this day. So the open of this morning was a very bearish open because the low of this candle and this candle were the exact same. And it gapped below this bullish gap and go. It was a very easy shorting opportunity. Here was the 5-minute chart, right? This is a bearish retest gap, and here's the retest. White candle comes in the first 10 minutes, entry there, stop there, boom, boom, boom. Anyone trading weekly options, congrats, because you just totally crushed Apple. What to do on it from here? Well, I like the lower shadow. We almost hit the 100 simple moving average. There's a few traders in this bull put spread down here, 152.50, 150 for October week 2. If you're looking at a location to get into some longer term calls on Apple, I think this is a great spot for it. What I mean by longer term, November at the shortest, and the longest, that's entirely up to you. However, whatever account size you have, whatever your risk, whatever your strategy, your time frame, your approach, really dictates how long you buy on Apple at this level. But again, it's a nice pullback. There was a trader who mentioned this could be a Head and Shoulders, and I agree. It certainly could be, but Head and Shoulders have played out pretty terribly the last few years in the market. Take case in point, JP Morgan. So JP Morgan also had a Head and Shoulders pattern not too long ago, right there. Closed over the neckline and then rallied like a champion, bouncing off the long-term moving averages. And then, of course, it had a weekly Head and Shoulders as well, if that's not enough. And here's the weekly Head and Shoulders on JP Morgan. Boom, 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 boom. It closed over the neckline and it also rallied. So Head and Shoulders patterns right now. The market tanking, I just don't see it. We're too strong. The market's still bullish. I'm a perma bull in the market. I know that. And I hope you are too, because that's the best way to make money. And had a few traders requesting BABA. Here's BABA on the weekly chart. Nice, strong trend. Trend is definitely bullish. We made an all-time high literally yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. So remember, when you're bullish on a stock, it's got to pull back sometimes, unfortunately. And you got to wait through those. Make sure you got enough time. Here's a nice double bottom, beautiful gap right here. Me personally, I would love it off the 50. Love, love, love. Is that going to occur? I don't know, probably not. If it pulls down to the 20, I will like it off to 20 as well, but it did pull down to the 10 and potentially might bounce. This is an evening star reversal pattern on BABA, I will say that. So if we take out today's low on BABA, we take that out, we certainly come down to the 20, and I'll hope that we come down to the 50 because I would love to buy it at that particular price. Otherwise though, if you're still in BABA calls or shares, looks like a good one to just continue to hold on to right now. I don't see any massive reversal signals other than this guy right here. So if it starts making a new low tomorrow, it just depends on how profitable you are and how much time you got in your particular position. But BABA right now, the trend is still bullish. Here's Delta, ticker symbol DAL. This is requested Delta and target. Don't see all that much happening on Delta right now. Some interesting lower shadows. We are below the 100, 200 on the daily, but here's the weekly chart and you have yourself a monumentally beautiful hammer. This is the hammer of Thor right here, shaping up. Nice retest gap on the weekly chart. White candle gapping up. Expect a little bit of a flag pattern to come in, maybe another week or so, but from there we should continue higher. If we breach the low of last week's candle on Delta, something is seriously up. The daily chart, more bullish to neutral, unless of course we close below 47.66, and then maybe we trade down a little bit lower into 46 and then bounce, but ultimately a little bit bullish on Delta. Here's Target, ticker symbol TGT. Target hanging out at the 200 simple moving average on the daily chart. Here's the weekly chart, and there's a few people looking at what appears to be an inverted head and shoulders pattern on the weekly chart on Target. We are retesting. Now again, Target, blue chip, long-term buy and hold. So at the same time, if you're playing this one, I have a longer term perspective on it right now. I don't have any positions on Target at all. Can't buy everything. That's pretty much the only reason why. If I had an unlimited amount of money, I would have a little bit in Target just because I like this lower location and a lot of people shop at Target. On a monthly chart, you might remember if you've been around with real life trading for more than a year, I was calling this as a buying spot off of the 200 simple moving average on a monthly chart, mostly because that's the exact same signal you got back in 2009 on Target. It's a nice little buying spot down here. Longer term, shorter term, it's a pennant pattern on the 200 simple moving average. If it can gap above there, close above there, break out higher, Target looks like it's moving higher. Tesla, ticker symbol TSLA. Tesla today, a little bit of an evening star pattern, so it's a little on the weak side right now. It did just trade to an all-time high 2 days ago and trade into a resistance. So it broke out of this little double bottom move, gorgeous move. This was the time to make all kinds of money on Tesla. From here, long term, I am unquestionably bullish. Yes, I do think it goes higher. My ultimate target, well, I shouldn't say ultimate, but 438 is a little bit of a target. If we're going to go higher, we do need to break above this resistance. That's just going to be a key. And you can either do it two ways. Either A, buy as it pulls back into 358 or so, and then look to buy the bounce off of that price. Or B, let it consolidate in here, and then if and when it breaks out, look to hop on. Because either one, those are what I'll be looking at on Tesla. Trend is strong. Right now, if you were in longer term call options or shares, which a lot of real life traders are, you're probably looking at maybe doing some covered calls or a calendar spread for a week or two, letting Tesla hang out here, chomp around, trade sideways because you got this really nice one black crow. I'm not going bearish unless, of course, it's some protective puts. I wrote in there, I thought I wrote in protective puts, but I guess I didn't. I want to buy in some protective puts, which, I mean, theoretically is going bearish if the stock drops. But really all that's doing is protecting a long position. A lot of real life traders got into a 3:30 January call back here on that hammer candle, which was just so easy to spot. And yeah, it's up like 100%. So I guess I'm just going to kind of keep waiting it out, see what Tesla does, and go from there. But overall, looking forward to breakout. Some news on Tesla and AMD. I think AMD is partnering with Tesla, and this was just such an easy move. We've been talking about AMD for the last few days in the afternoon swing trading room. Usually I will queue up a recording, but you guys just have to trust me on that one. Last 2 days, talked about the weekly chart and how strong and bullish this gap was. Very, very strong. Again, if you got my message last week about hopping in the trading room, you made a lot of money on AMD because this gap on a weekly chart was just phenomenal. Seymour, my buddy, has been crushing AMD. Congrats, Brad, Chris Jones, Drake. This was a gorgeous retest gap. I mean, white candle gapping up, retest, and then bounces. It closed above this neckline. We'll probably get a little bit of a pullback tomorrow, but ultimately 1472 looks real good on ticker symbol AMD. Here is NVIDIA. Speaking about AMD, got to talk about NVIDIA. NVIDIA retest gap, got a flag pattern up here for a little bit. There's a lot of interesting trades right now in NVIDIA. Most traders got into an October 175 call at the open, or about 5 minutes after the open back on that day. whichever that day was, Friday. Now we're flag patterning. This is a retest gap and we're retesting. So having some protective puts makes sense just to protect profits. Actually in a bear put spread on NVIDIA. So if it rolls down like this, I'll exit that for a small profit, and then hopefully we get a little bit of a bounce on NVIDIA. Ultimately though, keep your eyes on this one. Look to buy the dips. I do think NVIDIA goes higher from here. It just needs to do it on a pullback because we're a little extended. But longer term, NVIDIA, certainly bullish in my opinion. And then last but not least was Oracle. And Oracle today had a trader keeping an eye on this one. Here's the long-term moving averages. You got a high wave candle at a support level. Doesn't get more obvious than this. What way is it going to go? Who knows? But this high wave candle is pretty indicative of if you're looking at going bullish and it pops, this is the area. If you're looking at going bearish and it pops, this is also the area. Keep an eye on it on Oracle. Either one can happen. I'm not going to take a trade on Oracle. I'm just not a big Oracle fan. But again, there's so many stocks out there. No way I can take advantage of all of them. As long as you make money, ladies and gentlemen, that's all that matters to me. Overall, as far as my swing trades go, lost an R on WDC. So on WDC, this was a day trade setup right here. This one, so that did not work out. FOMC, didn't take any trades over the FOMC. So got into some calls yesterday, and then it gapped down today and stopped me out immediately, like in one day. So lost an R on Western Digital. That happened. And then Pfizer, ticker symbol PFE. This was a pretty good gap today on Pfizer. Was a good bullish gap and go, right? Black candle gapping up. Here's the 5-minute chart, and here's how I played Pfizer today. Broke out, a little bit of an entry there, stopped there, broke out, pulled back, gap filled, sat around forever, moved up my stop, yada, 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 came back down, got trailed out right here at 37.97, so made 0.2 R, very small. Overall at 9 R on the month of September, a lot of September left, and there's still a lot of swing trades open for real life trading that a lot of real life traders are in. ADI is one of those, had a pretty big pullback today, but we're still profitable on it, hoping that can start really screaming higher soon. RDFN, we're in bullish on that one, same thing, hope that can go a little bit higher. TWLO pulled back a little bit, but we thought that was going to happen yesterday, expecting hopefully that to continue higher. Twitter on the daily charts. I'm sorry, that's AT&T. I was like, that doesn't look like Twitter. Here's Twitter on the daily chart. A little bit of a bearish candle. This might be a realized gain here in the near future. And there's a few other swing trades out there, but the good news is the loser at WDC came off today, and I might end up losing on GILD. It'll get real close. We'll see. But here soon, I'm expecting to probably lock over 10R for the month of September. Got a week and a half left. We'll figure it out. I hope you're doing fantastic as well. Ladies and gentlemen, you're doing absolutely wonderful. Got a really quick other review to look at, which was CureCoin. I've been looking at this pretty much every single Wednesday, and I'll do it next Wednesday as well. So far, another cryptocurrency that has pulled back and done pretty much precisely what we were looking at last week. Really good support resistance. We talked about it here at the 100 simple moving average being a really good support. It pulled down. You're making some higher highs. The 100 has acted as a good support before on this one in the past. I like today's candle a lot. And it's up 6% just today for those trading this particular cryptocurrency. So overall, our analysis from last Wednesday looks pretty good on this one. From this particular Wednesday, still looks really good. I like the candles, I like the rotation, I like the moving averages. Here's your exponential moving averages on a daily. We're closing above those right now. And on the weekly, we're kind of above the 10 and the 20. So far it looks strong, expecting for CureCoin USD to continue a little bit higher. Folks, you rock. I'm going to see you on Friday. Remember, you can request any stocks you want me to look at, and I'll give you a quick review. If you want a longer review, of course, happy to do that in the afternoon swing trading room. And that's where I'm going to be in about 22 minutes from right now. Ladies and gentlemen, you rock. And until next time, love life, and trade it. Bye.